I don't belong here. What an absolutely completely rubbish intro, yet somehow still entertaining. How fitting. Yes, this is S.T.A.L.K.E.R Shadows of Chernobyl. In this game, you get thrown into this area called the Zone. There are mutants and dogs of random creations everywhere. Not only that, but there are anomalies that are affecting the landscape of everywhere you go. And there is an intense power struggle between all of the people that are left in the world, creating factions of enemies, friendlies, that you have to interact with. So I got this game because I saw a bunch of tags saying it was an open world game that had a similar theme and setting to the Metro series, a game which I love those ones. So I thought, why not give it a chop? Being the absolute melon that I am, I accidentally skipped the cutscene at the start of the game, not realizing that I did, and I had no idea what was going on at all. But it also turns out that even if I hadn't skipped that cutscene, I would have been left with the exact same skill issue because I played on the hardest difficulty and this game does not hold your hand. Yeah, that red game over sign just didn't end up being that impressive to me. In fact, it was just sitting there goading me and insulting me every single time I failed. But it's fine, we got there in the end. I think we killed everyone! Victory! So let's set the bar straight immediately. This is a game of old. It is simplistic in its features and functions. However, that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. This game is not packed with an intricate RPG system or an upgrade system or anything like that. It boils down to be quite simple. Pick up quests, do jobs for people, find better gear, and find out all about the world that you are in. Oh, and of course, an infantry system that you constantly have to manage. Tell me something interesting! Here, right. I can just trade. Oh, goodness. Can I just steal his stuff? I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. See ya. Ah, I need money. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna be the only loner out there, so watch out, buddies. Move to the next level. What? I still got so much I want to do in here. Like, what's this mission over here? Steal the documents. I want to steal some documents. The lone loner. There's only enough room in this town for one loner. But other than that, like I was just saying, there is no way to upgrade your guns at all. Just find or buy better ones. The only other thing that the game has is these little things called artifacts, which you can find being produced by anomalies, which you can change your stats in different ways. A lot of them can increase your, like, radiation protection, but they usually decrease your, like, shock and bleeding value, which obviously affects the type of damages being done to you. The same thing can be said about armor, actually, and it's very important that you find new armors or you adjust them to exactly where you need at that point in time in the game. But there's always new ones to find, and everything just gets better throughout the game as you get better. You know what? I don't care what Biss wants. I'm gonna kill this guy. And he's gonna be happy with it. He's gonna be happy with my work. Just hip fire them if you're that close to your egg. I'd love to, but it seems like shooting them in the head does you so much better. Now, because this is a review, there are a few different categories that we have to meet, and obviously the first one is gameplay. As mentioned before, it is quite simplistic, however, I think it's very effective at what it does. And when you think about an open world game, you're usually thinking about a whole bunch of waypoints of things, different things that you have to go and do quests at, collect different things, whatever. Little bit of mail system missions where you just pick up and deliver. That's not what's happening in this game. In fact, this game is extraordinarily clever in that it's got a lot of hidden systems in which you're interacting with both the environment and a whole bunch of different people. And everything you do actually matters in this game. And if you don't believe me, well, just count them. 7 different endings that you can actually get in this game. There's 2 true endings of which you can change the result just by conversation piece, but the other 5 endings from doing something different in the game can actually be altered by a whole bunch of different things, including the amount of goodwill you have towards people, the amount of money you have, who you kept alive, all of these different things, and that none of that is explained to you whatsoever. But it just means that when you actually play through this game, you will do one set of things, and then you realise you may have missed out on another set of things, and if you go back and do that, it actually changes the ending of the game. I didn't realise that when I finished the game, I actually got one of the false endings, but I actually got the good false ending. There's a whole bunch of different ones, I'm not going to spoil it. I potentially just bought a gun that became immediately irrelevant. Man, I saved your ass so many times, man. Oh, you want to save your friend? Too bad. Yeah, sorry, champ. Not today. But if we put it in the context of how games are today, it is basically as if Auntie Sarah had asked little Jimmy to go to the store to buy some milk. Now, little Jimmy obviously went to the store, but he came home with some orange juice. It's not really what you were expecting, or not really what you were used to, but still good nonetheless. That is basically what S.T.A.L.K.E.R is compared to today's standards. It's very different in a lot of its systems, but its atmosphere is very tense. It has a lot of great environments. Obviously its graphics are a little bit dated, but that's to be fair. The sound is a bit the same. They're both just above average. They're not like top notch, but they're not bad either. It all just ties in very well to the whole universe that you're experiencing. I mean, just look at it for a second. The trees look nice, the atmosphere is all pretty dank, but that fits in with what it's supposed to be. Sure, the people walk a little bit funny, and the dogs look a little bit weird, and, you know, there's just a few things that are a bit here or there. But, like, it's to be expected, and it's not that bad for this game. Now, if we have a sneaky little peek into the story of this game, you'll find that for a lot of people it's probably at times confusing and forgettable, because who the heck knows what's actually going on? But at the same time, you don't 100% need to know what the story is, because the quest lines that you are doing tells a story in itself as you're going throughout the game. And just like I said, the world building also tells its own story about everything that's going on. There's a bit of a fallout going on with all these anomalies and these monsters and all the factions, and you can help these guys to like kill these guys, or help these guys to kill those ones, and you just create your own story as you go. It's just something that really draws you in and makes you want to keep coming back and playing it. I know that's what it did for me. But when the overarching story comes into play, I guess you could regard it as a little bit dumb at the end of the game, but it's nothing that's too terrible to completely tear you away from the screen. It just is. But that's not to take away from the sense of accomplishment that you can find from helping certain people, doing the side quests, and the random events happening around the world. It is all very indulging, and you just feel fantastic sometimes after helping a certain person find their weapon, or help their family home, or something like that. Right now, I can spare as a juicy tip. I go to the south, there's a farm with some easygoing stalkers. One of them is selling a Gauss rifle. Oh. Bruh. There are just so many guys in this area. No ammo. Real? Wow. Ah! So overall, we're pretty thumbs up on this whole experience. However, there's definitely one more thing that we need to address. We need to talk about this game. There we go. There's the crash. Is that not the crash? I think that's another. Oh, I've crashed again! Oh, I made it and the game crashed. Dude. Is this game actually physically impossible to finish? So, to quote Samuel L. Jackson, this game crashes like a... And and in the sincerest way possible, because I enjoyed the game, I managed to have the mental fortitude and strength to actually push through and try and work through all of these issues, but as it stands, I cannot possibly recommend this game to anybody because of all of the crashes that it's currently going through. And yes, this game is made by a Ukrainian studio, so you may be able to understand why they're not completely on top of putting updates to fix all of these bugs immediately. And from a quick search online, it actually seems like I have had the good side of it, because I've actually been able to finish the game not once, but twice, and extras to complete that platinum trophy. Legend of the Zone. And we finished on 31 crashes. Right. So, taking all of it into account, my final synopsis is that this is a brilliant game that really sets you into the world. You're living in it. It's got a fantastic atmosphere. It's got an alright story, but its locations and everything are great. The game just feels really nice and everything, but it is marred with a whole bunch of crashes. So if I had to give this one a number, if you ignore all of the crashes, I would give this game probably a solid 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. Unfortunately though, because of all of those crashes, I don't feel like that you can possibly give a game above a 5 out of 10, which is a fail. Because, well, quite simply, the game doesn't work and a lot of people aren't able to finish this game. So take that as you will.